So I tried to make a little demo here, a little proof of concept project that simulates a feature that WhatsApp has, which is to allow multiple devices to connect to the same user account, and then when a message gets received by that user account, so when a message is sent to that user, all of the devices receive that message at the same time, you see. So to the demo. Let's do it. So we need to make sure that both devices are logged into the same user account. So both devices here are logged into Bob's account. And we have a simple chat. And in this chat we have Alice as a participant, you see. We're gonna make sure we're gonna pretend that Alice is sending a message to Bob right here, right now. So Alice has sent a message to Bob and both devices received that same message, right, at the same time, as you could see. I can also send messages from the different devices, and then the messages will sync, you see. So I can send a message from device number one, and the messages will sync between devices. So you can see that device number 2 received the message as well. And so I can send a message from device number 2 as well. And device number 1 receives that message as well. Okay, so that's basically the demo. Now the demo is done. On to the technical stuff. Okay, so how do I send messages? Okay, which is the simpler part. I just post messages to this, I just post a payload to this queue called message sending. You see, I can post a payload where I specify the chat ID. You see the ID of the chat that I want the message to be posted to. As a content of the message, which I can say hello, actually goodbye. Goodbye from Alice. And the sender, the person who is sending this message, the ID of the sender, in fact, which is in this case Alice. Okay, so I can publish this message, and everybody receives this. Actually, everybody that is in this chat receives this message. So goodbye from Alice was received by Bob from all devices that are connected to Bob's account. Okay? Because Bob is part of that chat. Now on to how devices listen to messages. Okay. So in a typical messaging system, devices would subscribe to topics associated with a particular user. And that means if anyone who wants to receive messages for that user, he would simply subscribe to the corresponding topic. And this way, whenever a message is sent to that user, all subscribers on all devices would get it. Okay, so however, in my implementation, I needed to do things a little bit differently because, well, I implemented this using RabbitMQ exchanges, you see. So I'm gonna give you the example of Bob. So let's say that Bob logs into his device. When that happens, Bob's device connects to RabbitMQ and establishes a connection to a specific exchange. Okay, the device creates its own queue and binds that queue using Bob's user ID as the routing key. Okay, so this means that any message addressed to Bob will be routed directly to this queue. Okay, so here we have both Bob devices, we see, and we can see that the queues are different. You see they have different IDs, but the routing key is the same, you see. So the message producer, the message server will actually send a message to this exchange with the Bob's ID, you see, as the routing key. And so all queues which have the same routing key will receive that message. Understand? And so that's basically it. Thank you for staying with me. That took a long time to record.